Hello out there, Project Open Mic audience. This is Andre, and this is another Andre's Mic discussion. And this one is another one that's extremely highly personal to me. Mostly is just anything that I deal with, there has to be some personal element of the experience that I'm talking about in it because it just makes it easier for me to convey things for people. I don't really like to talk about things I don't know anything about at all. Just not how I am. But that said, I've recently started releasing poetry books. I write poetry books. I'm actually working on a couple novels and a few other things that will lend to me as a writer. Um, and there's my stuff is self-published on Amazon at the moment. I've actually been writing for years. Like it's been something that's been a passion of mine for a very, very long time. I mean, it really picked up in my teens. Before then, I wrote little things as a kid, but I didn't really put much stock in them. But as I became a teenager, I got more invested in developing my stories and things of that nature. I mean, there was a period of time where I stopped writing for a good long while, and that was when I was heavy into my depression, like very heavy into my depression, so I wasn't writing as much. But it's always been a passion of mine to write and to develop stories and create characters and such. And poetry was also a very big passion of mine for a long time. Writing poetry and writing song lyrics were two things that I was very passionate about. And they both kind of require the same type of mindset. Like not exactly the same, but very similar. Um, but that's a whole discussion for another day. It's just right now I'm doing my poetry books because it's something I'm enjoying doing for one. Like I like coming up with different themes to poems and rhyme schemes and scales and things like that and figuring out the rhythm for them and stuff is just that's I enjoy doing it. And being able to take my own personal experiences and inject them into the literature I'm working on just makes it that much better for me personally. That said, I am very well enjoying the response that I'm getting back about my books from people individually. Um, though I don't have any actual reviews on the books yet, which hopefully that'll start happening at some point. But as I've been writing and I've been releasing my books, um, there is actually a minister that my mother works with at her job who uses my books to help counsel people. And that was something I didn't really know about at first. He sent several books to me through my mother for me to sign them and to send them back. So I've been signing them, putting little hopeful messages in the books and sending them back off, which is pretty cool to me. Like that somebody can use the things that I had in my books, which were inspired by my own personal and negative experiences, to use those to help people. That's something like that I'm happy about. As a person in general, I always liked helping other people, liked helping see people grow and get out of things that may have bogged them down. I've always had a love for doing that. So for someone to be able to take the poems that I have and the books that I'm making and use them to help someone go through, well, get over a traumatic experience or to pull themselves out of being highly depressed, that means a lot to me. And I didn't really know how to put that into words when I heard it. But the guy will send like little notes and things with the books that he wants me to sign because and I'm figuring he wants that the person to know that the author of the book has kind of understands what they're going through. So he's like, okay, I'll use this. Like, here, sign this for these people, please. But it's something that it's just like that means more to me than the money I make off the books, which isn't a lot because I'm an unknown at the moment. But still, that means more to me than the money that I could potentially make off these books at any point, because it's helping someone through a situation that they may feel like they can't get out of. And to be able to do that for people after all of the things that I have gone through and all the many things that I felt myself, that's actually an amazing feeling to me. Like, and yeah, this is all kind of local. Um, I'm not expecting that I'll just blow up at any point, but knowing that what I have helps other people is a tremendous joy for me. That's why I get myself involved in projects to kind of just like, help and boost other people. Like there's a book now that just recently released on June 15th called Towards the Sun. And it's been done by a collection of different people. Like, I'm one of many people that's on there. I submitted a poem for it. Like, that poem was pretty long, but I submitted a poem for it. And it's basically a fundraiser for a teenage girl. Her family found out she has cancer, and they're basically, the person that put this together is trying to help the family raise money for her care. That's the whole purpose behind the sale of this book. And like that, when I saw that, like, that made me want to jump into it, because it's like, if this was my family, anyone in my family, I would be so grateful to the people that would be willing to help, or to add anything to it to make it more valuable. And I think that's a really big thing for a lot of people. And from this project, I may actually be working on another project to help promote and talk about the people that are a part of the book. That's a side project that may be getting worked on. I don't know just yet. I was contacted about it like a week or so ago. But if it's anything that can help people, like, I really like to do that myself. And I think more people should be willing to help others out. Like, more people should be willing to give care to other people. I'm not saying give up your life or your livelihood to take care of other people, but just do more to attempt to help other people. Because you don't, like, and it doesn't necessarily have to be anything major. Like, you don't know what little thing can make a person's day. Like, you could just see someone struggling carrying their groceries, and you just hold a door open for them so that they can make it through. And that might brighten their day up, because they may have had a very, very crappy day up to that point. You never know. It's like small stuff like that, I think people forget. That's why it means so much to me that anything that I work on can be helpful for someone else. Whether it's doing my discussions here on Project Open Mic, whether it's the stuff that I work on for my YouTube channel, or my books, or anything else I get involved in, I want to help people. That's the bigger part of my goal, is always to help other people. Sure, if I get some notoriety from it, cool. If not, as long as whatever I have to say reaches and helps even one person, then I've done a good job. That's how I look at it. But I don't want to drag this discussion on for too much longer because it's not a subject that needs a whole lot of talking about. But I just think that more people need to spread positivity and work on doing better and more positive things for people as a whole. But that's it for me. I don't have anything else to say. So thank you guys very much for listening in. Hopefully you enjoyed this. If you are interested in looking up my books, you'll find them on Amazon. You can look me up as Andre Ratchford, or you can look up Andre the Neurotic Mind, which is the title of the first book, The Neurotic Mind. And my books should come up. There are only 3 of them that are directly from me on Amazon. The other book, the one that I was a part of, is called Towards the Sun. And the person that released it is T.M. Lowe. So you'll be able to find that on there. But that's if you're interested in looking it up. If not, thank you very much for listening. Hopefully you enjoy your day, and peace out, everybody.